Welcome to Damn It TV Live. We're here in Lethean Portlaoise for the original music showcase night. We've got two great bands tonight, CUA and Wayfarer. Let's go talk to the bands. Wayfarer, how are you lads?
Very good, man.
Thanks very much for coming today.
Thanks for having us.
So you have a 4-song EP out at the moment, and it's called I Am on a Road. Can you tell me a bit about that? What kind of songs are on?
Yeah, so it's a 4-song EP we released a good few years ago now.
5 or 6 years ago?
Yeah, it's pretty old. We definitely started recording it like 5 or 6 years ago, and then it took a while to release. But yeah, they're kind of folky country songs, really, I would say. And we still play one or two of them off like live now, but we're kind of starting to write some new stuff and playing that a little bit more live as well. Kind of, so the style's been kind of changed a little bit now, I think. Yeah, that EP is definitely kind of folk country type stuff.
And what's your writing process behind all the songs? How do you put a song together for an EP?
Well, that EP was kind of just some songs that I wrote, but at the moment, I suppose we're kind of doing things a little bit different. Like it's kind of more like one of us will come with a part, like whether it be a guitar piece or something like that, like an idea, and then like sometimes I might have a guitar written, I'll send it to Dan, and Dan will write lyrics, and then we'll kind of come together as the four of us, and then just layer on top of it then, and then change how things are arranged and stuff like that. So generally, that's how it's been working now. I would say.
Yeah, we haven't had any problems yet with it, but it will. Like I find writing really, like, I don't know, it takes me ages to do it. But a lot of smoking and late nights, just like, oh.
So the lineup that you guys have now, the four of you guys, has it always been this way, or have you kind of changed it over the years? Have you added new members?
Well, there was, well, 3 of us to start out with originally. We had a female singer with us. And then that was like coming up to the EP. And then, of course, when we kind of went our separate ways for a bit. And then, like, Sam came up to me then one day and asked to put the band back together. And there was just the 2 of us then, playing a few tunes. And then wrangled these boys in.
Yeah, it's been hard.
Yeah.
I think it was really important as well when you guys brought myself and Wayne in, that when you're spending so much time with your own songs, it's really important that you get like outside influences in, like fresh ears. So what happened was when me and Wayne came in, we were able to hear the songs, we were able to step back from them, and then we were able to kind of go, okay, so this sounds good, this doesn't sound good, and you know, so they weren't personally our songs, so we were able to just look at it, you know, objectively, I suppose, and kind of figure out what worked well and what didn't work well. So we kind of feel that we're all able to put in our own inputs and basically come in and say this is terrible. But
don't think we've said that.
No, thankfully we haven't said that. But yeah, no, I just think it was really important to get like an outside influence of like us two who've come back from like completely different backgrounds, and again fresh ears and the influence, I suppose.
Yeah, I like the way we write songs now as well. I think like having like 2 or 3 musicians and having like 2 or 3 people who can write lyrics and stuff, there's always like a different take like on what you might have written, like an acoustic song, and being like, oh, this sounds really cool, like this is how it's going to sound in my head, like, and then when you bring it and then 2 or 3 people come in and they just completely add different bits you wouldn't even have thought of. Like I really like when that happens. Like that didn't happen for a long time, obviously, when it was just like 2 of us. So it's I think it's a really cool kind of thing to add. Like the songs have definitely developed a lot more now than they would have otherwise. Like so.
I also think that, like, for me and Dan, like, we were kind of like fans of the band. Yeah. So when we come in, like, it's true, we're fans. So like when we come in, we kind of want to honour what's there and what's been there. So we try not to, like, Sam and Dan's vocals are just insane. Yeah, they're so beautiful. So like when we try to play, we try not to step on anything. Like we try to honour it and like just like embrace what it is and go with it and try.
There's no egos. Like, everyone's trying to like work towards the song, like everything, you know, when you're writing part of a song, there's nothing kind of no one's thinking what's going to make me stand out or what's going to make me sound cool. It's all kind of like, well, what works for the song and what will make the song improve. And we're constantly trying to add layers and trying to add different dimensions to songs without not for the sake of it. Do you know what I mean? We're trying to, everything is for the song, and then which is a problem as well because we're never really totally happy with the end product. But they're constantly evolving. But like, we're still happy with the direction I think we're taking.
So you guys were saying you're working on a new album. Can you tell me a bit about that? What's the name? Any ideas for songs yet?
It's really early days, but like I mean, like we have the songs from the EP. Like we're writing. We have a couple of ideas on the go for songs as well. So again, with the writing process, it's just it's taken a bit. And I know you're writing stuff as well, but yeah, I'd say by the end of the year, we've got enough time as well.
That's the plan anyway. Definitely, it's something we want to do. Like we started again talking about writing. We started kind of writing songs together, and we're kind of really liking the new stuff that we're coming out with. Like we're quite happy with how it's going. So it's really going to be about kind of, I suppose, putting some time into writing more songs in that vein, and then getting the time into just sitting down and tracking things and like figuring out how we want it to sound on a CD, and then deciding if we want to do it ourselves or go somewhere else. And then there's all those kind of complications that'll probably take time. But like the album as of now is probably like 3 or 4 songs we've written maybe, and then it's kind of going to be just added to that and fleshing them out, and then when we're happy with them going for it. So there's no details, I suppose, like there's no album name or anything like that.
I think it depends as well, because right now we're in gig mode. So when you're in gig mode, you're literally just focused on the task at hand. You're kind of how to perform the songs rather than like, okay, what new ideas will I bring? Like every time we practice, we're just kind of trying to perfect what we're about to do. To like, sometimes some new ideas sneak in and we kind of just get lost in it and just get carried away. But at the moment, we're just in gig mode.
But I think with the gig mode thing is, you know, we're gig mode.
Yeah, the gig mode.
The gig mode thing.
Trademark.
It's like we're melding as a band. Like I mean, that's what we need, is to go out and play more gigs. Really,
But I think as well, when you bring another a new song in as well, the more you gig it, the more kind of things that come to it as well.
You know, when you listen to bands and like they'll record a song and then they'll tour it, and then you find out years later, you kind of find out that when they play it live, it's so much different, and it's so much better than the recorded version. The reason is they tend to just rush to the studio and record a song as soon as they have it finished. Without, I think touring is it's a good opportunity for bands, exactly what you said, to kind of evolve it and experiment with different parts and add in things, take out things. So maybe at the end of the touring stage or end of the gigging stage, you can kind of sit back and say, okay, well, that worked and that didn't work.
Well, you get to gauge your audience as well. You get to know how the song kind of makes people feel. And like sometimes you could have like what's not good to you is probably brilliant to someone else. So you might like not love one of your own songs, but when you play, you kind of get this certain reaction that kind of makes you fall in love with it a lot more. So that's kind of the point. So I'll just lay them out and see what people think.
Guys, well, thanks very much. I can't wait to see you play on the stage. Best of luck.
Cool. Thank you very much.
Thanks, dude. This is the original song. It's called Dusk in the Green Mustang. Thanks.
Taking a long way home, in the middle of the night, crying out for light. Stars in the soft night sky, dimly light the scene as the junkets pass us by. trees. Dusk on the greenhouse. Well, I'm falling here for something. We're all falling for something. And as the barflies leave their thrones, I'll be waiting by the road. I'll be waiting on those doors. And like a magnet, they'll take me. Not a late night casualty, just another fallen leaf. And don't fall too far from the tree. This is a new song called Love Interrupted. Thanks.
Cheers.
You This song's called The Wolves.
This one's for Mark. Marky Mark. He follows us around everywhere.
CUA, how are you lads?
That's good.
Not bad, awesome, man.
Thanks very much for coming today.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Nice to be here.
Yeah.
So, you have a self-titled EP out, and you describe your genre as Atlantean. Can you describe exactly what that is?
Go on then, Shane.
Yeah, it's basically just trying to draw connections between all of the various different musical styles around the Atlantic, from the Americas and Nordic countries and Ireland obviously and Scotland, and that's just, I suppose, the airwaves that we've grown up with listening to, you know, and we're just trying to amalgamate some of those styles together as many as possible without being too crazy and complicated.
So you guys have already toured around Europe a bit, and what were the highlights of that tour? Any venues in particular that stuck out?
On the French tour, I think all the venues stood out because we were playing in things like really rustic French barns to venues way up the side of a mountain, and they were all quite unique and quite different. I don't know, they were all really special.
The Piste de Fleury.
Piste de Fleury, we got made very welcome there.
Nice kind of small towns at the foothills of the Pyrenees.
Yeah.
And a great thriving crowd for original music, you know, seemed to be people.
We travel a long distance, like 20k, to go and see a band in the middle of the mountains.
Savage.
So it was, you felt kind of special. You know?
Yeah, it's good. The whole area is like completely beautiful as well. Everywhere you look, it's just mountains or snow-capped hills. It's incredible.
Any funny stories from the tour? Anything crazy happened?
Yeah, we can't tell that.
Yeah.
We sang in the church.
We did in the place we were staying, Domazan, Sorori's. They had a church, I don't know when it was built, 1600s or something, and we were just walking past and we said we'd go in and have a look around, and the acoustics were really good, so we did an a cappella tune and recorded it, so it sounded really
Cool.
yeah, that was pretty nice.
So when you're set tonight, you're going to be playing multiple kind of variations of instruments. How does that contribute to your sound? With any weird instruments that you want to play for us tonight?
I have a little tambourine that's stuck to my foot. It's probably one of the weirdest instruments like that.
We're mostly a string band, and so we've got bazookies, 12 string on our recordings, bazookies, 12 strings, 6 strings, fiddle, a lot of picking, plucking, bowing, strumming. So it's mostly very string orientated, but we do change around instruments as we play, like during the gig, which keeps it definitely keeps it pretty fresh.
So is there any cool stuff coming up for you guys? Any more tours? New albums?
We're going to have an album.
All of the above.
Everything.
In October. We're launching it with the Dunamace Theatre here in town, and we have tours to Denmark, the UK in July, Denmark and Holland in September, and hopefully loads more tours after that as well. That's kind of the next schedule.
Plus new album coming this year. Like how you said that.
Yeah.
All right. It's very important to us to listen to the new album. It's very important that we listen to each other as well.
We're looking forward to it. Thanks very much.
Great.
Thanks for having us. Best of luck tonight.
Thanks, man.
Cheers, lads.
Cheers. Thanks.
We are marching to the city. We are marching to the sea. We are marching to the battlements to face our enemy. about to get free. With the crack of a gun they were killed one by one, whilst the kings and the queens drank tea. How nothing we've buried on you cannot find its way back through the town. Oh, nothing we lost suddenly can be found. Oh, nothing we buried on you cannot find its way back through the town. Oh, nothing we lost on you can be. Oh, nothing we lost on you can't be found. Thanks very much. Cheers to everybody. Thanks very much. See you dancing then. Come on. Fair's fair.